Hello, welcome to Nerdy Drunk episode 3. This episode is about the serving temperature of beer. Today is Tuesday, May 19th, 2009, and I am your host, Timothy Ingalls, aka the Nerdy Drunk. When it comes to the serving temperature of beer, the two biggest misconceptions are that a beer must be ice cold and that it must be served in a frosty mug. This is not true. This is especially not true for craft beers, micro beers, or a lot of import beers. Why is this not true? Because the temperature strongly affects the taste of the beer. When you have a beer that is served ice cold, you taste a lot less of the flavors of the beer. When you have a beer that is served a little bit warmer, you start to taste a lot more of the flavors of the beer. When you have a beer that is cold, you're only going to taste general or broad flavors of the beer. You're not going to taste any of the light, delicate flavors or hints of flavors. When you have a beer that is served warmer, you're going to be tasting a lot more of the beer. You're going to pick up a lot more of the subtle flavors or delicate flavors. Now, there are some beers that do need to be served almost ice cold or refrigerator cold. This is going to be somewhere in your mid-30s. This is mostly going to be the majority of the American macro brews or the big name beers. This will also be a lot of the lagers. A good example is a Pilsner that might be served at this temperature. Now, a good, safe temperature, if you want to start getting into tasting more of the beers, is going to be somewhere in the mid to low 40s. This will work very well for a lot of the craft or micro brews, as well as a lot of the general imports and ales. Now, when you come to the big beers, the big full flavored beers, those you're going to want to treat almost more like wine, and you're going to be serving those in the high 40s, but most likely somewhere in the low 50s. This is going to be true for things like imperial stouts, barley wines, Belgian quadruples, anything that has just a really heavy, complex flavor. The biggest thing to keep in mind, though, is you want to drink what you like. You want to drink beer at whatever temperature you find refreshing. I enjoy drinking my beers at a much warmer temperature than most people. Some people find it refreshing to only drink ice cold beers. That's your prerogative. If you want to start getting into serving your beers at an appropriate temperature, or like some beers will actually put an appropriate serving temperature on the bottle, invest, if you can, invest in a second fridge or a large wine fridge. This way you can have a fridge dedicated strictly for your beer or wine, and you can also keep it at the appropriate temperature without messing up everything else in your main fridge. Now, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, please visit the site, NerdyDrunk.com. You'll find an email link there, as well as a lot of social networking contact information, or please comment on the YouTube videos. Also, I do have some good news. In the next couple weeks, I will finally be able to edit the videos, so I don't have to try to do these in one take. Again, thank you. I'm Tim.